Afternoon, welcome to Channel 4, esteemed citizens of planet Earth. Now, what we'll be talking about today is the plan went to plan with this deep state government. They panicked, and when one panics, they do rash decision making, bad judgment calls, really bad judgment calls. We started off the trumpet of patriots. We didn't have much time to organise that, but God's will, Godspeed, we put it all together, and I myself was a candidate for the Hunter region, New England, as it says. New England. Now, unfortunately for their harsh and rash judgment, they've done a lot of errors. And this is why this had to happen, because the masses had to see for what it is. This opens your eyes, it pries your eyes open to see how crook and how dark this deep state in government is. And I keep telling you guys, there's not bad, it might only be one bad apple in a basket, but that bad apple starts affecting everyone. Then you get 2, 3, 4, exactly, keeps going. Now why I'm telling you this information now is I only need one view, and that is success. They have many views now, so it's been more than a success, and now I am here to inform you on how it's all worked. And you give someone enough rope, and surely enough, they'll hang themselves, and through their arrogance and their ego, all evil. Arrogance is evil. Ignorance is evil. Now, Easter, we're all celebrating Easter, as we know, with Jesus Christ. There was the death and resurrection. But not only that, the pagans used to celebrate a pagan goddess called Esther. Eoster, I think her name was. That was from the Germanic. Before the event of Christianity, Esther is the Germanic goddess of dawn who is celebrated during the spring equinox. Okay, so while we're all out there, different beliefs, different perspectives, but mainly the Christians in Christianity, including myself, because it's spiritual, Jesus Christ, I take in the Holy Spirit, spiritualism. We're all out there, all tied up in this spirituality and Christianity. How dare him even call an election? That's what I mean. His own ignorance and arrogance. We had our minds on we weren't focused on an election. That's why he called it. As I said, he hung himself. Gave him enough rope, he hung himself. And not only that, it got worse. It got even worse. Because it tied in Anzac Day. I think that was 1915, the Anzac Alliance with New Zealand. And we landed, pretty sure it was April the 25 at Gallipoli, 1915. Anzac Day, yep. 25th, commemorated for our fallen at Gallipoli. Now we're all, and we still do, grieve for our brothers and sisters. How dare Anthony Albanese do this? You know, I don't forget. I've got long memories. And this is when we were all distracted with other stuff, and this is how they do it. We weren't interested in an election at that time. Could have been called in May. It could have been called back in February when we weren't distracted with other stuff. You know, like this is big distractions because there's many believers out there. Many. And we were distracted. He's just, as I said, he's an arrogant pig, evil man, very evil man. And as I said in the last video, when they don't sign and swear their oath on the Bible or the Quran, whichever you believe in, there is a problem. There is a big problem. And people should have jumped up and down then and should have turfed him out. He should be gone. He should be gone. But as I said, the masses have to see Anthony Albanese, Penny Wong, Chris Bowen, Chalmers. There's others in there too. They're all in deep state because they're all way to the left. And this is why it's all going wrong now. He's going to raise your taxes. I told you all this, guys, way back. And about 10 years ago. Because what he's going to do, the rates are going to go up on your house. The rates will go up to 5-10 grand. And that's going to snap everyone in. The average Joe Blow that owns their house, yeah, they own their house, but then you'll have to pay your big high rates. And as I said, the electricity prices go up. And he'll just say there's not enough supply there for it. There's not enough supply for your electricity. So we're going to have to put the electricity up. But they're the ones that privatised it. It's all bad, but surely you guys are awake now and you're starting to see things with your own eyes. Because this is what it's all about. Unfortunately, it's probably going to have to get worse for you guys to wake up. I know the majority of you are waking up. But remember, this is God's plan, God's glory, and God's kingdom. This is how it's all been planned. And Anthony Albanese just fell for it. He fell because he's a dickhead. He's an imbecile. He's an idiot. He's a nincompoop. There's a lot of names out you can call these dirty players in their dark world. As I said, they're doing really bad, dark rituals. They're a part of some kind of a cult here. And that includes all very, very, very bad people. Okay, cringeworthy, very sickening shit they're doing. But we'll have our day. Anyway, enough of that. I just thought I'd bring that up again because people tend to forget and move on. I don't move on that easy. As I said, I'm a bit of a rock like that, and I stand my ground. And we go forward. As I say, let the cosmic energy flow through, become part of the cosmos. Okay? But that really pissed me off at the time. I thought, everyone's just so distracted and this is what they do. And then I'll tell you, when a reporter, if and when it does happen, it's probably only a matter of when it's going to happen, a reporter actually puts that microphone in front of Anthony Albanese's head and mouth, and they mention Prince Todd, he's going to say he's a bigot and a racist, or is discrimination, or some kind of word that's going to throw the general public off. Don't get off your feet, because if that is the worst shit he can throw at me, well, good luck to him. Good luck to him, because I'll tell you what, my divinities, it's gonna bounce off me like I'm metal. Not gonna worry me. It's just full of shit, because then it's bouncing off and he wants to look at himself in the mirror because he's talking about himself. He won't be talking about me because you guys already know who I am and what I'm on about. Love, respect, accountability. And I've got many, many friends from many, many, many nations because we're plenty over. I've got many earthlings, okay? Many earthlings. They can call the racist card and the discrimination card and what a bigot and all this shit. That means nothing to me because that's their man-made bullshit they made up in deep state on the dark side to divide us. Remember, they're trying to divide us. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. We are conquerors. And remember, while we've got all those celestial beings surrounding us and guiding us and protecting us, as long as with our Father upstairs, we're on the right track. We're on the right track. And we keep going forward in leaps and bounds. As I said, let all these dark entities, give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves, and they're hanging themselves now, all across the board, even ones that were protecting him. I noticed ABC's criticising him, SBS. Some of your main channels, not all your main channels, because they're on the dark side too. Remember, Rupert Murdoch controls that. He controls all that, and he's part of those dark elites with the Bourbons, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bill Gates, big pharmas, big pharmacies, feeding you drugs, altering your minds, all this mind control crap. That's why you've got to be strong and push it out. All your positive energy will push all that shit out. And you'll start to wake up and you'll be going, wow. And then it'll be like, yes, we've got to do something about this. But as I said, try and control those emotions because being angry and so forth, that's part of those 7 deadly sins. But we can have justice with your judgment. As I said, the main judgment comes from our Father upstairs. And that's his matter of presence. And I've already told you about the Prince of Presence. Let's see what we're going to pick out here. I cannot plan it any better, can I? That's what I mean. Stand your ground. Stand fast. Stand fast and know who your commander-in-chief is. As I said, it's all about re-educating yourself because you've been brainwashed. And remember, know your sexuality and stuff like that too, because eyes wide shut, look what they use there. Lust. And they've said 7 deadly sin. We've got to have self-reliance, rise above problems. All right, my lovely listeners out there, you've got self-reliance and stand fast. Stand your ground. Sounds good to me. That's about all your vibration and your frequency you're pushing out there too, all over. I think my frequency 999, I believe is Archangel Metatron's frequency to tune into vibration. That's what you got to do. Raise your frequencies and your vibration level. Raise it all up. Making new friends. As I said, sisters and brothers, friends and family. Now we'll delve into these cards, stand your ground, We all got to stand our ground. The fairies ask you to make decisions based upon your honest feelings. Stick to these decisions and don't allow outside influences to cause you to waver. And they say influences on the only one they're making profit out of all that out of you guys anyway. On Instagram and so forth, they're all profiteering. Everyone's profiteering, which is greed again, gluttony, 7 deadly sins. When you're really honest with yourself, you know what your desires are. Yet other people may be pressuring you to portray a lot of betrayal out there and treachery. Yet other people may be pressuring you to portray your true feelings. This card signifies that your original decision is valid and that you mustn't let outside influences sway you. While it's always wise to listen to the counsel of others, don't allow your own needs to be compromised. Don't be afraid to tell others how you feel. You'll probably find that when you speak your truth, new solutions become apparent that allow for win-win situations. Those win-win situations again. Beautiful. Beautiful. As soon as others are aware of your true desires, they will help you find a way to manifest them without compromising their own needs. Everyone will feel happier as a result. Even more important, your self-confidence will increase as you take care of yourself, and others will respect you for standing your ground. Affirmation: I speak my truth and powerfully and lovingly. I trust in my strong feelings and stand my ground in following them. Pretty sure we drew this card before. And self-reliance. 2S cards. You are your own best friend and you can provide for yourself emotionally and physically. Sometimes we feel frightened and want to get reassurance from another person that everything's going to be all right. By drawing this card, you are reassured that everything you need is provided to you. You can rely on yourself and your own spiritual gifts to manifest all that you need in your life. All through your manifestations have the energy of spirit and often funnels through other people. It still originates with your own thoughts. Remember? This card also counsels you to filter out negativity that may sway you from listening to your own inner voice. Don't let naysayers talk you out of fulfilling your dreams. You are as qualified and deserving of achievements as any other person. With focused intention and divinity, guided action, your dreams are becoming reality right now. Affirmation: I am tuned into my inner source of direction. I confidently rely upon this inner source to guide me perfectly. And there you have it. I'll just do one more card and we'll see what it is. I won't read it out, but I know we're on the right track and you guys know we're on the right track, so that's all there is to need to know. If you know and I know, that's all there is to know, isn't it? Inner child just flicked out. We've done inner child. Done inner child. Do this 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. Stack them up. Knock 3 times. If you don't see me knock, I've already done it before you guys tune in, my lovely listeners. All about you guys. I am here for you guys. Okay? I'm on this planet for you guys. The planet Earth. Those lovely earthlings. As human beings surrounded by celestial beings. Part of the cosmos. Draw the energy, draw all that positive energy in and cast out the negativity. Cast it all away and you'll feel so refreshed with all those positive vibes and positive thoughts. Cast out all the negative thoughts. Not going to believe it. Higher consciousness again. We'll see what this top one is, eh? Environmental awareness. I guess it's all about those stupid wind farm, big windmills they're putting up. Just, we've got to stop all this bullshit, all the dark side. As I said, they'll just destroy everything. They've dismantled everything in the last, as I said, thousands of years. We're not talking centuries, we're going back thousands of years, and I guess it's been a bit of a struggle with our families against the dark side. And as I said, it's infiltrated everything. Your Masonic lodges were the first ones to fall, and then they created and misinformed the people on what your Masonic practices were actually about. So we've got to reassemble and fix everything these dark entities have destroyed. And they're still destroying. They'll keep on destroying until there's nothing left. There'll be no forests, probably no water. That's another thing too, supply and demand with the water. I notice up my way, don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. God knows what they put in it. I know that the fire retardant stuff they sprayed on the forests for when they were on fire, all that chemicals and so forth now is flowing into our drinking water source. So now we're starting to drink the chemicals, and that's why I had a sore throat, because you imagine what I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know where to begin. What chemicals is in our water supply? I do try and take precautions and drink bottled water, but how do we know what's in our bottled water? At least it's taking some kind of precaution anyway. And then we've got to pay extra for that. I think I paid $15 from Pieface for a case of water. Who would have thought we would have been buying water? And I said this back in '94 when my mate walked in the door. He had a bottle in his hand. I said, "Where'd you get that from?" He goes, "I bought it at the service station." I said, "You didn't buy water, did you?" He goes, yeah. And that was the start of it, bottled water. And look where we are now. And that's what they're going to say. They're going to tell you that you have to buy bottled water. And all these dark entities and so forth, they've probably got shares in all that bottled water. Franklin Water is another one. So they'll just cut the supply or say there's something wrong with it, like the COVID-19. Another bullshit thing that went out there so they could destroy all the small businesses and all your big corporations could thrive. They made a killing on that COVID-19 and they killed off all the small businesses, all the boys out there and girls that had all the small businesses. And that's all documented. That's factual now. Everything's factual. As I said, give these pricks, I don't even know what's happened to Daniel Andrews. It's like these demons get drawn out, they do the handiwork and then disappear. They'd have a dark entity over in, there was the Prime Minister of New Zealand. I think she's being prosecuted for murder. I think she's running and hiding now. And it's going to happen here. It's going to happen. They'll all be prosecuted and held accountable for their actions, because they have responsibility to the Australian people. We could have worked through all that mess. Okay, you get the flu. Yes, some will die and some won't. Just let our natural immune system do its job. This MR crap they've given us a jab with, lots of people die now. People, they're not advertising it. They're not. People are misinformed by these dark entities through their media, their main media. I wouldn't believe any shit the main media says these days. It's all bullshit and propaganda on their side. Dark propaganda. I do listen to Sky News. I think that's the only one with Paul Murray and Ricky, is it? Reiki or something? There's a couple of good ones there. And I'm pretty sure down the track they'll start taking notice of me. Okay? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. You have a beautiful night, because we're coming in on dusk here in Australia. And wherever you are tuned in, remember, this is a broadcasting station now. Channel 4. I broadcast abroad. I'm casting it out to you guys. The truth. All happens for a reason. Love and hugs again. Talk to you soon, my beautiful listeners.